Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, Virgo, you can always look at the description box. There's a link there to look at your whole birth chart. And that way, if you want additional messages for the week, you can always check out your Moon and Rising sign readings as well as your Sun sign reading today. So this is for the week of July 25th to August 1st. And I am going to be using a tried and true spread this week. I tried something different last week and it was really new to me, and I got a couple comments saying, you know, we'd like you to stick to something that you're a lot more familiar with. So I'm going to keep practicing the other one. Even though it was inspired, it was new to me, so I'll be practicing that, and I'll bring that 6-card spread back in a couple of weeks. Until then, I'll be doing a 5-card spread today with the wisdom of the Oracle deck today, and then drawing additional cards from the Medicine card Tarot and the Healing with the Angels Tarot. We will be looking at issues of where you are currently this week, energy that's brought you into it, probable outcome card, and what's working for and against you. So this is a general reading. I encourage you to apply any messages you see here that you find helpful and healing to whatever is most prominent in your life, Virgo. So what does Virgo need to know? All right, Virgo, so we're just going to shuffle until we get 4 more cards here. If we're going to run into the 3 or 3.5 minute mark before we get the total spread, I'll just pick from the center of the deck for you. So we just need 3 more cards here. Ooh, that flew right out. All right, so just 2 more here. Let's give it a couple more shuffles. If we don't get 2 more, Virgo, I will choose the center deck cards. Finish this off. Alrighty, just 1 more, sweet. Okay. And if you're returning to my channel, you'll know that I generally take from the bottom of the deck when I'm doing around a 3 or 4 card spread. But because we have a lot of information here, we're going to stick to this and, of course, draw 2 extra cards. So let's just get a feel for what is where, and then we'll go through these one by one together, okay? So in the central position, we have the Treasure Island card. And when I say central, I just mean this represents you currently this week, Virgo. And in the energy that you're just leaving or bringing into the week is a change in the wind. What is working for you is the Peace card. What could be working against you or that you may need to be aware of is the time for a nap. And then your probable outcome card is the Co-Create card. I actually really like the Treasure Island card, so I'm going to give you an idea of what the authors wrote in terms of keywords when they built the card. So the words they use is law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition, the results of positive thinking, made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains and the sharing of fortune. So this is actually a beautiful place to be. And I don't think that this was effortless necessarily. I think anything having to do with the law of attraction or the law of cycles, the law of nature, any type of behavior or acknowledgement about this type of energy is not by accident, is what I'm trying to say. You have to be cognizant, was the word I was trying to get. This is a very cognizant effort of yours. It's very rarely is this just going to happen upon somebody where they're just like, oh yeah, no, totally, I get the law of attraction. And then they just start applying it. This is due to a great deal of effort of your own. So this is a thinking process that you've brought yourself into, and it deserves congratulations. You can see how beautifully bountiful this is. Not only is it the water is a symbol of bounty and life, but we have the turtle, one of the most ancient symbols of all creation. Some of the oldest tribes in the world with any written history um, wrote about turtles, even the entire universe being on the back of a turtle. It's also the original symbol of the sign Cancer. So there could be a Cancerian involved or Cancerian energy, something having to do with women or the moon, water itself, the emotions or psychic energy, and of course, a sense of feeling rich and loved here. The turtle has this really cool chest of gold and jewels on his or her back. So there is a sense of being in tune and being in touch and riding the waves. You can see how there's nothing scary going on in this ocean. There's nothing underneath. There's no huge waves. There's no tsunami going on. He's just sort of going with the flow and being in flow with things. So this is an incredibly positive place to be this week, Virgo. And I really do feel that you ought to give a moment to yourself to congratulate yourself for being here and letting yourself in this moment. And the reason I say this is because it was hard work. When we have the change in the wind card leading you into this position, this is a definitive decision that you had to make for yourself. Like I said, this attitude doesn't generally drop in people's lap and people go, oh yeah, no, totally, I'll start doing that right away. People need to consider what this means for them, and it looks like this is what you've done. You've done a great deal of consideration. You've been part of these changes and you've been willing to make changes in your own life. Could there be outside influences to this moment where you are bringing this energy into the week? Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that someone else is doing it for you. What this means to me is that you are paying attention to what is working for someone else. And again, believe it or not, this is another part of the law of attraction. The eyes cannot see what the mind doesn't know exists type thing. If you make yourself aware of things, it's almost like look and you shall find. The person who isn't looking won't find whatever that is. The person who makes an effort will find it. And that's negative or positive, right? Good or bad, love or dark. But I really feel like this is a positive interaction for you and a great deal of good energy that you've spent in making positive changes in your own life. And like I said, I've gotten you to this beautiful position here where you're now in tune with the laws of the universe. What is working for you? Again, just gorgeous symbology. Both of the egg symbols appear twice in your spread, so there's a great deal of evolution going on here. Of course, at this stage, we have the peace evolution. There is literally a dove with the olive branch in her mouth, all these hearts, this beautiful harmonious field. Something really beautiful is occurring within you and about you, right? In your energy. And you're really hyper cognizant of this. You yourself are aware of this. None of this, in my opinion, is accidental. I really feel like this is a great deal of effort and concentration that you've put into being in this type of flow, being the recipient of financial reward, of um, and when I mean that financial reward, I mean, guilt-free or problem-free. In the what is working against you or you might need to be aware of is time for a nap. All this means to me right here in this spread, frankly, is that you could be resting on your laurels this week. You could be resting on the fact that you know something someone else doesn't, or it's even something that you know now that you didn't last week or the week before, and just going, this is fine. I don't need to know anything else. I'll just stay here. This is really comfortable. I think there is an opportunity here for you to keep growing. So, in terms of needing a nap, I mean rest in order to absorb what you've learned. Rest in the sense of having it become a part of your everyday, a habit. If that's the case and it's a habit, this new mm, thought process or understanding, etc., then I would keep going. Okay, make a vow to yourself. Okay, this is settled. I got it. It's absorbed. It's integrated. Now I'm going to try the next level. For me, I think there's just an element of I think this has been integrated. I think you understand this. This is finding itself in your everyday life. This is being applied. You're seeing the fruits of your labor, even if that labor is, mental or emotional. Don't rest on your laurels here. Make sure it's integrated and assimilated and you're practicing it, but then make a new challenge for yourself, essentially, to get to another level for yourself. So, on the other hand, if you do need rest this week, or if you do feel pushed, or that you do need to, say, take a breather, definitely do this. I think the only caution here would be to sort of get so cozy or comfortable there that you're not willing to do anything else in terms of your higher progress or higher learning. So definitely rest if need be, but don't stay there. Okay, and then in your probable outcome card, we have the co-create. This is always cool to see, particularly in the probable outcome, because of where this is going. We have change in the wind, something that you've made a decision, you've contemplated something and decided something. This is a definitive moment for you, and it's brought you to this place. So this is a new energy, or this is an abundant energy that you're now sort of, I'm going to say, swimming in, that you're comfortable in it now, right? And now you're able to do something else with it. And this is saying to me as well, these two cards, like, yeah, you can stay here, this is really comfortable, but keep reaching, reach beyond this position, because you are so wise at this point. You have a lot to offer other people. And like I said, this is the second egg in the card. There's still coming out, there's a sense of coming out of your shell, whatever that means to you this week with regard to your general situation, or something is still in a gestation period and it needs a little bit more time to complete. So don't give up on it. There's no sense of like giving up on it. It's not like that. It's keep going with it. There could be something having to do with being on the line or a bird on the wire, which is generally about messages or a messenger. And then the owl symbology, which is ancient symbology for, of course, wisdom and psychic energy, females, the moon, and night cycles. And of course, we can't forget the fastest animal in the world, who's actually taking a bit of a rest. So it could be that you need to rest a little bit. Like I said, don't get too comfortable here, because there is some place you're supposed to be going with this. And this could be an external party, as an outside individual, or this could be you and someone's waiting to meet you to take it to another level. So in terms of the change in the wind here, you've had your eyes open for a little while and your ears and your feelers out and stuff like that. Don't give up on that. Trust that that's the way to go, and keep this process in mind, because it is benefiting you and it's something that you don't have to reinvent. You don't have to rethink. So I would keep going the way you're going, Virgo. This looks very, very beautiful. I would even say terms like serene and comfortable and even calm, I think, are happening here. I think that the probable outcome with the co-creation could be the sense of energy, the sense of um, formation, in the material world. I feel like these four cards are definitely going on within, and then the co-creation could be something that should be manifest or could be manifest in the material world. So just keep your heart and mind open to those concepts. I think you have a lot to offer here, perhaps, that you're not giving yourself credit for. And if that's the case, and it's someone is asking you for help or to interpret something they find troubling in their own lives, or even like, how did you do it? How did you do X? How did you get out of or into this or that or whatever? And don't be shy about it. People wouldn't be asking you those things if they didn't truly feel that you figured it out. So, and again, congratulations here, because this is a beautiful place to find yourself. I love this card for you. Look at so everything that we just discussed, this huge moment in time, probably a process, this change in the wind, okay? Change in the wind isn't just like a snap of the fingers. This is like, ooh, like a conceptual, long-term change in the wind here leads you to this place of prosperity and co-creation with another character, an actor, an agent, etc. Or it could be with your inner self, whatever. There's another agent involved here. But this doesn't happen on its own. This is the card of self-esteem, Virgo. Listen, nobody without an enormous core sense of self, a solid sense of self, a loving, respected sense of self, I don't feel could even be in this phase or be going through this process. So you really do need to give yourself a lot of credit for having this self-esteem to get out of something that wasn't working for you or didn't feel good, etc., and into a place where you're like, oh, no, I like this better, and guess what? I deserve it. I don't have to answer to anyone here. I'm not taking from anyone. Uh, this is in all fairness, etc. So just rest easy that everything that is positively happening for you here is because of your own doing. And this was a lot of work and a lot of hard effort and training. And like I said, a change in the wind doesn't happen overnight. This is something that you have to contemplate in order to get out of or into something else. And it could be the other way around. It could be that the self-esteem led you to this place versus this place led you to self-esteem. So either way, I don't think it truly matters in which sort of format this happened. If this decision came first and then you got a boost in self-esteem because of it, or this boost of self-esteem helped you to recognize something in order to realize that it was time to move beyond that. Either way, the self-esteem is strengthened here, which is ultimately incredibly positive. And I do believe that it's part and parcel of knowing that you, just like every other soul on the planet, is related to that sense of prosperity. You know, God's prosperity, or the earth, or, you know, the creation prosperity flows through you. So you deserve this. And ultimately, what's going on here could have lent to a self-esteem progress as well. So one way or another, either the self-esteem led to this or this led to a higher self-esteem. But one way or another, this is working in your favor, and it's an extremely positive sign to see for you. So let's just get one more jumper here for an additional message to the spread. And we'll do a couple more shuffles. If we don't get a jumper, I'll pull one for you. I personally love when they jump out. I'm sincerely trying to keep these videos under 20 minutes ideally, because I know that everyone's strapped for time. Okay, so a couple more shuffles. If we don't get a, didn't necessarily jump. Okay, let's go ahead and get you the center of the deck here, Virgo. Never mind. Sweet, that's how obsessed I am. I just keep shuffling. Okay, we have the balance card. This is gorgeous. I love seeing this here as an additional message card to the spread. Balance. I think truly this is what this is about. I hope you can see much of this coloring is even the same. These are two different decks. I'm always intrigued when this happens. There is a sense of pure understanding here. pure acknowledgement of being a part and parcel of outcomes. So, for example, instead of thinking or saying or believing that life or something or X fill in the blank happens to you, switching it around and saying, you're creating it. And when we acknowledge that we create these things in our lives, we can become responsible and we can also become the co-creators, right? The co-creators of this experience. Instead of saying something happens to me, there's a sense of responsibility versus blame here. And I think this is actually what is helping you through this phase, or this is an acknowledgement that you've made that this balance is between, yes, there's an outside world, things will happen to us, but what will we do with those situations? And I think that's what is going on here with you. Either you're aware of this and just need to be reminded, or you needed this message, I believe, to further understand how this self-esteem is manifesting and how to keep it going in your favor instead of going back to, let's say, old thought patterns or old habits. No, stay in this rhythm, stay in higher consciousness, stay in higher vibration. This is where you need to be. You're absolutely doing the right thing for yourself. And I think this sense of peace is lending so much calm to your life that you're just going to feel like, yeah, this is for me. So as long as it feels good and it's positive and it's leading you to a higher place, Virgo, keep going, because you've done a lot of hard work to get here. So that concludes your reading for the week. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you have a second, let me know in the comments what you think and if it makes any sense for you for the upcoming week. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I upload videos for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, take good care of yourself, Virgo. I will see you then. Bye for now.